So do you ever ask for anything in a relationship? Do you ever ask for behavioral, something that you might specifically want?
Of course, you do it all the time. That's what step one is.
But do you ever, my sense is that you wouldn't necessarily advise a verbal request. Like, I'd like you to be more on time, I'd like you to be more affectionate.
Well, the thing about that is, when you say to someone, I'd like you to be something other than what you are, where's your attention?
Agreed, yeah.
And
so that's
if your
my question.
attention is on other than what you want, where's your vibrational relationship to your vortex?
Agreed.
And if your vibrational relationship to your vortex isn't in alignment, then is water flowing downhill?
Right.
Or have you got the pumps working so hard your tongue's hanging out?
So you never ask. So that's what I get from you, is that you never ask. You just get yourself in alignment with what you might request.
Well, you're asking. You can't not ask, because when someone's not on time and you'd like them to be, you put more on timeness in your vortex. In other words, you're asking. But the question is, where's your vibration most of the time? Is your vibration more on the question or more on the solution?
Thank you.
Because if you keep saying, I want this thing I do not have, 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 then what you don't have is so active in your vibration that even though this partner of yours who wants to be more on time cannot possibly be more on time regarding you, because you've got a whole different vibration going on.
Got it.
Little kids will say, I don't know why I'm behaving badly. I don't want to behave badly. I don't like my toys being taken away from me. I don't like your disapproval. I don't know why I'm behaving badly. And we say, we do. It's because the expectation of bad behavior is more dominant than the expectation of good behavior. And sometimes these little guys just cannot buck your current, you see. You have to take responsibility of every behavior that every other person is offering as it regards you. Woohoo! Oh man, Abraham, please don't let those buggers off the hook like that. A lot of them are really bad. I have a lot of really untimely people in my life. Please don't make me responsible for their timeliness. You just can't get something different than what's dominant in your vibrations. So that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. What do you think is your expectation? That's a really key word. What's my expectation? What is my expectation? And sometimes you say, oh, but wait a minute. This person's bad behavior trained me into that expectation, because I didn't expect that before they gave it to me. And we say, yes, but you had the ability in the earliest of stages to not let what is dominate your vibration. But most people let what is dominate your vibration because you haven't known that you have the ability to think and feel on purpose. So most people are observing and therefore offering a vibration that matches what they are observing. And this world has you working hard, folks, because you have never been inundated with as much to observe as you are here and now. There's a lot for you to sift through.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's okay to ask as long as you expect.
Well, it's a three-step process. You can ask.
I mean, verbally ask.
Well, we would not ever walk up to another person and say,
right,
I need you to be different in this way.
But I also hear, turn off your cell phone. I mean, it even occurs within a seminar itself. Please turn off your cell phone. Please,
Well, there's a difference between saying, do not let your cell phone ring. Are there any guidelines for you to read?
Yes.
Oh, Jerry wrote those so carefully. He so wanted to express what he did want as he wrote those guidelines. For the comfort and the continuity of the meeting, for the positive upliftment that we are creating here.
I get it.
You see.
Okay.
And so we acknowledge that sometimes when your guidance says, go this way, it's the same almost as saying, don't go that way. But there's a vibrational difference between looking where you're going and avoiding where you're not going. Because if you're avoiding where you're not going, you're looking there. If you're looking where you're going, you have a much greater probability of being a vibrational match in the direction of where you are looking. So certainly there are all kinds of relationship experts that would say if you don't tell people what you want, then they can't decide whether they want to line up with you or not. But if we could just convince you not to say to someone, I want to be happy, and therefore you need to do this, this, and 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 this. But instead you say, I have the ability to be happy, so you can be however you want to be, because I'm going to sift from that which is you things that make me really happy. And there's a really high probability that I'm going to be really happy because there's so much about you that I really like. That's a much better basis for a relationship than, here's my list. Give me yours. Nope, we'll never be able to work this out. Because you can work anything out, you see. You can work anything out. We just still have not convinced you that it's about your thought, not about what someone else is doing or even about what temporarily is. And we love the word temporarily, what temporarily is, because everything is temporarily being it, because law of attraction is only holding it into place by the vibration that's being offered. But the reason that so much doesn't feel temporary is because the vibration that was being offered was observed and was practiced, and so the vibration that was being offered is the vibration that is still being offered. So it feels like things are staying the same. Even though things are changing constantly, there's just changing to more of the same thing because you're thinking the same things and holding yourself in the same vibrational place. That was really good. Did you get that?
I did.
So if you want things to be different than they have been being, then you've got to offer a different vibration, which means you've got to stop being a lazy focuser. And by lazy focuser, we love you so much. By lazy focuser, we really love you a lot. By lazy focuser, you have no idea how much we love you. By lazy focuser, we mean it's easier to just look and observe and have a feeling response. That's the easiest thing in the world to do, you see. But deliberate creation is look, have a feeling response, and say, this feeling response is not up to speed with my potential. I have vibrationally parlayed myself into a much higher, better feeling frequency. And I will find a thought that matches that frequency. I will readdress this subject again and again and again, because ignoring it just leaves it where it is. But every time I bring it back into my conscious focusing, I will leave it in a better feeling place than I found it. Ooh. I will leave it in a better feeling place than I found it. I will leave it in a better feeling place than I found it. Oh, do you feel the power in that? Because if I keep leaving it in a better feeling place than I found it, before I know it, I'm going to be a vibrational match to what's in my vortex. And when I'm in a vibrational match to what's in my vortex, evidence will confirm it is now in a better place than it was before. You've got constant evidence. That's the best part about our interaction with you. Everything we teach you is validated by your personal life experience with no exceptions. There's not a shred of evidence anywhere in the universe to the contrary of what we speak.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. You couldn't have gotten us off to a better start.